Yeah, it's going. Go around.
Is that right?
It's 2 parts now, okay.
Okay.
Forget it.
Okay, and again, don't leave a large space at the end of your CV because it just looks like you've run out of ideas to talk about. Okay, next task you're going to do. So on the previous task, down the side it gives you information on what was good and what was bad about those CVs. This time you're going to do it yourself. Okay, so I've sent you another CV. Okay, you need to look at the first CV on this document and write a paragraph describing what makes this a bad CV, because it is not a good CV, the one I've sent you. Okay? So just click on this link on the PowerPoint and tell me in a paragraph what makes this CV so bad. Okay? And I'll give you again 5 minutes to get that done. You should come up with a page like this. It says examples of good and bad CVs. Bad CV example 1. Okay? Use the information you've got from the stuff you just went through to help you answer this question. Okay, so which are, what's bad about the CV? So you don't need to say CV because look back to the top really carefully. Put the name. Say put the name Jonesy or something like that. You don't actually know who you are. Anyone. Okay? It doesn't create a very good impression.
John Anthony, what does CV stand for? What does CV stand for?
Curriculum vitae.
There you go.
What's wrong with putting these things in? This isn't a very professional. Okay? Well, you've got plenty of stuff to do, right? Yeah, good. Well done. What was that from, Jamie? You put a nickname for this morning.
I think that just shows that you're unprofessional.
Yeah, it doesn't create a very good impression, does it? Okay. Did I get that? Okay. Joe, if you try and say paragraph. Try and say paragraph. Okay. Let's put the right? Okay. So you guys are looking for a paragraph rather than bullet points. Right, so you're looking at full sentences this time rather than writing bullet points. Last minute to finish off your paragraphs. Okay, if you will stop there and face towards the front. Okay, Anthony Slattery, could you read out your paragraph?
The person has put a name as slang, Jonesy, addressed in a formal of a letter, not a CV format. The person has included pictures of what is not suitable to have on the CV. This shows that the person applying for a job is informal and likes to have a laugh at everything instead of taking things seriously. There are lots of blank spaces on the CV and no skills listed to the job they are applying for, and there are lots of spaces in between sections. This makes an employer think that the person has limited things to say about themselves.
Yeah, excellent. Some really good points covered there. So the first point being that the name says Jonesy. Okay, we're in brackets Steve. It doesn't even say their last name. Okay, it could be Jones, but we don't know. Okay, for example, my uncle, his name's Paul Williams. Okay, his nickname's Jonesy. Okay, so that could be his last name, but who knows? Okay, it doesn't create a good impression. Another thing Anthony said is that the address is not in a neat space saving format. Okay, it's written as if it was on a letter. Okay, it's also included the word address, which you don't need to do. Okay, pictures are just not appropriate, and there's lots of blank spaces on the CV, which shows the person has almost run out of things to say about himself. Okay? Did anyone else notice anything that was wrong about the CV?
No person statement.
Harrison?
No person statement.
Okay, so why is that a negative?
Because the employer will not know. The employer won't be able to find out anything about the person who's made the CV.
Yeah, personal statement is almost like an introduction about yourself, telling the employer all the good things that you've got about yourself, all the skills you've got that will make you suitable for that job. This person hasn't even bothered to put a personal statement, okay? Which means the employer has got no idea about what skills this person has gained on previous jobs, or they might assume that they haven't gained any skills, okay? Jacob Turner, what else is wrong about this CV? Which might be at the top.
The curriculum vitae is labelled.
Okay.
Which you don't need to do, just too obvious.
Yeah, this is obvious that it's your CV. If they've asked for a CV, okay, you don't need to put to the employer, this is my CV, okay, because it's obvious what it is, okay? That's just wasting words, okay? If you look at the name, ideally that should be at the top, okay, and then ideally in bigger font, and not written as a nickname either, okay? Is that okay? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at the second CV on this document. Okay, so if you scroll down to page 3, okay, you're going to have a look at the first example of a good CV. However, not all of this CV, I think, is positive. There's lots of positives about the CV, but there's also some negatives as well. So what I want you to do is look at the CV and explain this time what's good and bad about this CV. So Charlie Meek, what does the word explain mean?
List the point and then go into detail with it.
So go into detail, and what do we need to do? What word are we looking for? You need to tell me why. Okay? So describe is just create a detailed picture about what's going on. Explain is tell me why. So if you say, for example, if you look at this CV, the name is at the top in bold and in a big font. This is good. You need to tell me why it's good. Does that make sense? Yeah? Nod your head if it makes sense. So you would say, this is good because. You're telling me why. Okay, so your task now is to write another paragraph telling me what's good and what's bad about the CV and why. Okay, put your thumbs up if you understand. Okay, good. I will give you another 5 minutes to do this task. So Jake, what good features have you identified?
Size of the font is clear, it is.
Yeah, it's clear, good. Bars.
And I said about Alice, he's done an address wrong, because it should be in the
Yeah, exactly. What else is good about it?
he's clearly stated what he's talking about, he's got work experience, so has it done,
Yeah.
and then what he's done, and how.
What skills you developed, yeah, so. Yeah, can you see that? It's in, just the layers in bold, it's in different sections. Much better than the other one. Yeah. Okay. So what have we got that's good about this, Jamie?
Font size for the name, and like details like email address and telephone number,
Okay, so why is that good? Having just starting with the name.
because his name stands out, which makes well, basically it stands out so it looks more professional.
Yeah, it's right in the middle at the top.
Yeah.
So what are the things that are good about this CV? You look just glancing at it straight away.
Like this in details about his work experience and so on. And it's not in like big paragraphs, it's just straightforward information.
Yeah. So it's easy for people to read. They're not going to read big paragraphs.
No.
It's difficult to read. It's
Yeah.
in a nice space-saving format. There's bullet points telling the employer what skills they've developed in a particular job.
Yeah.
What sort of things, just glancing at it, you know, saying that's not good about the CV?
Going back to the top, the address is still not in the same line, so it looks unprofessional.
That's good. Okay, it's not a neat space-saving format, so it's wasting space.
Titles, like work experience and all that,
Why is it bad?
because you just put down like what you've done and
I don't think that's too personally. I don't think that's too bad. 'Cause it's in bold. Okay, you clearly distinguish the sections. They split the sections up.
yeah.
I don't think that's too bad. What about the bottom of the CV? What's wrong with the bottom?
You left too much space.
Yeah, again, it looks like they've run out. Looks like they talk about themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff there. Okay. What's wrong with it? If you look at the CV, what's wrong with the bottom? The bottom of the CV, what's the bottom? References are, I don't think are a big issue. I think that's correct, but the fact is that's a big space. You don't see things to say at the top. Okay. think so. You explained it really well. Okay. That's excellent. Okay, last sort of minute to finish writing your last point. And write your last point and put a full stop at the end. Okay, Joe Hudson, can you read out your example because I thought your work was excellent? Okay.
In this CV, some of his presentation is not that good because his address is not space efficient and didn't use the space bar, so it made him look unprofessional as a result. He put his name at the top in bold, so it told the employer who he is. He used bullet points to get his points across effectively and got a lot of information across using little words, but he hasn't provided a personal statement which gives the employer a bad impression because it doesn't tell the employer like a little bit about him. And he's also given some key achievements, so he told the employer what he's good at and what he's done to be successful.
Yeah, some really good points there. So did we all hear that paragraph? Did you hear it, Jamie? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good, yeah. So immediately, his name's at the top. And immediately, just by looking at this CV, it looks a lot more professional than the one we looked at previously. Okay? His name's in bold at the top in nice big font, so we can see who it is. Okay? We can see that he's wrote a personal statement telling the employer a bit about himself and the skills he developed. And we can also see he split his CV into different sections. Okay? However, Jake Turner, what is the problem at the bottom of the CV? What's he done wrong?
Blank spaces still.
Yeah?
Very large blank spaces.
So what does that show the employer?
That he's run out of things to say.
Yeah, the employer might think, oh, this person has run out of things to say about themselves. Okay? What else would you look at as being negative, Harrison, on the CV?
He's used up a lot of space for his address.
Yeah? Just little things, it's not big things for the CV, but little things. At the top he's used more space probably than he could have done by the way he's laid out his address, his telephone number and his email address. Okay? On this CV there are good points and bad points. The bad points you're probably nitpicking a little bit, but there are still ways to improve this CV. Some good ideas floated around there, guys. Okay. So what I want you to do now, quick task, 1 minute. Okay, so go back on the first CV we looked at, so Man Be Good, and just list the sections which are included on the CV. Okay, because they're the sections we're going to use to create our CV. Alright, so for example, the first section would be the name, address, mobile number, and email address. That would be personal details. Okay? Does that make sense? Nod your head if it makes sense. Good. 1 minute, off you go. On the chart. Yeah. So what sections do you include? So you've got personal details, personal statement, education, and so on. Yeah, just write down a list of the sections which are included. 10 seconds. Okay, and stop and face towards the front. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you for a section each. So Jamie, name a section of a CD.
Personal statement.
Personal statement, Anthony.
Personal details.
Personal details. Jake.
Skills.
Skills. Yeah, Charlie Meek.
Name.
Yeah, name, which comes under personal details. Joe Hudson.
Qualifications.
Qualifications. Joe Madley.
GCSEs.
Qualifications, give me another one.
Covering that.
Not so much on CV. Have another look at Mandy Good. Just 2 seconds. Have a look at a section that they've got.
Work experience.
Work experience, good. Harrison,
Any skills,
any skills they have. Okay, I think we've covered them all. So the CV sections you need to include are things like name, address, mobile number and email address over your personal details, personal statement, education, work experience, skills and references available on request. So these are the sections I want you to base your CV around. Okay? Good. So when we're writing a CV, okay, a CV needs to be tailored towards a particular job we're applying for. Like I said right at the beginning. So if we're applying for a sports coaching job with ProStars, your CV will be slightly different than if you were applying for a job at, say, Tesco's. Okay, because it requires slightly different skills. Okay? So your CV should be tailored towards the job you apply for. So what we're going to look at in the next part of the lesson, okay, is we're going to look at a specific job we're going to tailor our CV around. And the job we're going to look at, which is a job you could get, okay, by the end of the course, is a ProStars job application. Okay? So you are going to apply for, you're going to apply for a job as a sports coach with ProStars. Okay? First of all, before we can even think about writing our CV, we need to think about the skills that you need to have to be an effective sports coach. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to talk to your partners and talk to them and tell them what you think the skills are needed to be a successful sports coach. Does that make sense? Yeah? So you're talking to your partner, you're telling them the skills needed to be a successful sports coach. Okay? I will give you 2 minutes to do that. Off you go. Jake, if you work with Joe Madley and Harrison. 2 minutes, talk to your partner, what skills do you need to be an effective sports coach? Off you go. Okay, we're finished. So start with Jamie. What skill do you think you need to be a successful sports coach?
Communication skills.
Why do we need communication skills?
Because, for example, like if an athlete needs to progress in their performance, you need to give them like proper detail of like how they can improve.
Okay, good. And you need to be clear when you're speaking to your athletes, don't you? Because if they don't know what they need to improve, and you're not clear with that, then they're not going to improve. Okay? Jake Turner.
Confident of your session plan, so I know what you're doing.
Content of your session plan, you say?
Confident.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Why do you need confidence when you're
Yeah.
coaching?
If you have confidence when you're coaching in front of 10 kids, for example, then you're not really going to have a good session for them, are they? They're just not going to be as practical as you are either.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're not confident in what you're saying, you might give the wrong information, which could obviously affect your session. Charlie Meek. Okay, Anthony, can you help Charlie out?
Listening skills and timekeeping.
Organisation first.
So listening, good Charlie, so listening skills and timekeeping. So Anthony, explain that first.
Well, you need good listening skills because if someone gets hurt in a session, then you can you obviously listen to how we've done it, and then you can tell them to go to first aid or something. And timekeeping is essential because if you need to set up some cones or something, you need to get there a bit earlier, so then you can actually set up your session correctly.
Yeah, you don't want, as long as that timekeeping, you don't want to spend too long on a certain drill. Okay? You might spend all your session on a certain drill and not have time to do another one. Okay, so timekeeping is essential. Charlie, organisation. Good. Why is organisation important?
Well, you need to get Apple with right equipment and all ready for that when they come out.
Yeah.
The cones and all. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, so exactly, you need to have your session set up
Get
before
straight
one,
into it.
before the session, so you can get straight into your session. Good. Joe Hudson.
Analysis.
Analysis. Okay. What do you mean by that, Joe?
So you can analyse a player's performance to help them improve, or you could self-analyse your session to see the strengths and weaknesses of what you've done.
Good. I think that's essential for a sports coach actually, to be able to evaluate their own session, because when you're delivering a session, to get better, you need to recognise your own strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so the ability to self-evaluate is really important. Okay, we'll move on. Okay. Right, okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start to write our CV for a job with ProStars, okay, as a sports coach. Okay, so armed with the knowledge you've got about how to produce a CV, okay, and the skills needed to be a successful sports coach, you should now be able to start to produce your CV for a sports coach. Okay? Some final tips. When you're writing your CV, ensure your spelling and grammar is correct. Okay? Ensure you put your headings in bold, because you want your headings to stand out and you want the sections to be nice and clear to the reader so it's easier to read. You need to consider the layout of your CV. So individual sections shouldn't be split over 2 pages, shouldn't leave big spaces at the end of your CV, and you should try and use a space-saving format. Okay? So if you looked at the address on Mandy Good and Mandy Poor, you'd see on Mandy Good it was on one line. Nice, neat, space-saving format.